In this video, I will be pitting Hermitcraft up against the Dream SMP. This is a comparison to end all comparisons, to find out which is truly the best Minecraft SMP. And I gotta be honest, if it wasn't for you guys telling me to compare these two SMPs, I wouldn't have thought to do this. So thank you for everyone who suggested this, and I hope I don't offend you guys with the winner. And also, if you like this video, you are giving me more views, because YouTube will promote this video more if you hit the like button. So you have the power to help me, and I'd really appreciate it if you did. And now, the comparison. To ensure you have the best quality comparison, I'll be whipping out my SMP research degree just to show you I'm certified at this. And if you didn't see my previous video, the way I'll compare these two SMPs is I'll be covering 5 different categories and giving 1 point to each SMP for a category that they win. And now on to our first category. Now the members category honestly might be the hardest category to compare, because although at first glance it might not seem so, the Hermitcraft and the Dream SMP members are very similar. Let me explain. They both cater to young audiences, but they also have mature themes. They both have very experienced Minecraft veterans that have been playing for a long time. Except for these two, I think they're like 11. And they both have a lot of British people, but I think the biggest difference between the members of these two SMPs are their skill sets. I'll explain with Hermitcraft first. The Hermits are pretty well known for their vast general knowledge of Minecraft, but I think where they really succeed is specifically in their redstone and building skills. They build these massive projects that take a lot of time and effort to pull off. Meanwhile, the skills of the Dream SMP members are more focused towards PvP and speedrunning. And there's no better example to show the differences in these two SMPs' member personalities than the world that they live in. The Dream SMP is messy, with blocks randomly placed everywhere and remnants left of battles that took place in the past. The state of the world represents a speedrunner's world. They don't care how the world looks, they take everything from it, abuse it, and give nothing back. They're just trying to beat their goal. Meanwhile, the Hermitcraft world is clean, orderly, with giant advanced projects dominating the skies. It represents a creative player who wants to find and execute new and better ways to advance their lives and then be able to look back and smile at their creations. Although it might sound like I'm roasting either of these SMP's worlds, I promise I'm not, and there's nothing wrong with these two worlds. It just shows the different types of players and the way they play Minecraft. So a small little recap. Although the Dream SMP members and Hermits have some similar things in common, the way they play Minecraft is almost completely different from each other. And with all that, I think the winner of the members category is just barely the Dream SMP. And the reason is because although they're pretty similar, the Dream SMP members do seem to have a bit more personality than the Hermits, but it's really close, and honestly comparing the members of each SMP is really like comparing apples to oranges. And now that I just offended half the Minecraft player base, let's move on to category 2. In this category, we're going to be talking about the storyline to each SMP. I'm going to start off with the Dream SMP first. Now, I personally feel like the Dream SMP has one of the best stories of any SMP, but is it better than the Hermitcraft story? Well, the Dream SMP has scripted wars, dictators, uprisings, and intense character moments. And it feels like mostly everyone who participates in the story on the Dream SMP really delivers a good performance along with everything happening. So it really makes you feel immersed, especially since you could see the aftermath of these wars on the server once everything is over. But not everyone does participate in the story on the Dream SMP, so sometimes that could take away from the immersion a little bit. Now moving on to Hermitcraft. Now while Hermitcraft definitely does have a story, it feels more episodic, and the Hermitcraft stories are definitely entertaining, but it doesn't usually get in the way of the server and impact the daily lives of the members as much as the Dream SMP storyline does. But personally, I feel like the Dream SMP might have the best storyline of any SMP out there right now, and that includes Hermitcraft. So I'm gonna give the winner of the storyline category to the Dream SMP. Now the names category I'm personally excited to talk about, because one of these SMPs actually has a good name, and I think you could guess which one. It's Hermitcraft. I mean, the Dream SMP just isn't an original name, and although it can work, it doesn't have the same pizzazz as the name Hermitcraft does. I mean, Hermitcraft members call themselves Hermits. What is the Dream SMP members supposed to call themselves? The Dreamers? That doesn't work. And although calling the Hermitcraft members Hermits doesn't really make sense because they really aren't the definition of hermits, the name still works and flows well, so I think it's pretty obvious that the winner of the names category goes to Hermitcraft. Do either of these SMPs have the ability to last, you might ask? Well, let's find out starting with the Dream SMP. It's a fact that the Dream SMP has been around for about 9 months as of making this, and that is a pretty long time for an SMP, but it didn't really start picking up steam until July 2020, so it doesn't really feel like it's been around for that long. But while the Dream SMP has been around for a seemingly long time, it's nothing compared to how long Hermitcraft has been around for. Season 1 of Hermitcraft started all the way back in April 13th, 2012, so that means it's been around for 8 years and 10 months as I'm making this video. That's a long time, but you'll have to also take into account what I said before. Season 1 started then. That's right, Hermitcraft has seasons and definitely has not been one continuous server for all 8 years. So having seasons really helps to break up the content and keep things fresh and entertaining all the time. And I also think the Hermits seem really dedicated to the world they live in, and you can really see that with the massive projects they build. But going back to the Dream SMP, I think it's only fair to mention that there has been talks of a season 2 on the Dream SMP, but nothing have been confirmed by Dream, so that doesn't really change anything. But I'm gonna be honest here, I feel like objectively, subjectively, intuitively, congruently, and medically, I think because Hermitcraft has been around for so long, and because the members are very dedicated to the world, I think Hermitcraft wins the lastingness category. Exactly how unique are each of these SMPs? Well, thanks to the special features category, we could find that out. And I'm starting with Hermitcraft. Now, Hermitcraft is a vanilla server with a few quality of life data packs, like multiplayer sleep, which makes one person sleep to skip the night, some statistic trackers, and little things that generally make the server more enjoyable, but definitely nothing that changes the whole game. That being said, there has been some Hermitcraft spin-off servers that were modded, but in this video, we're talking about the main Hermitcraft server everyone knows. And data packs aside, Hermitcraft also has some pretty cool features the players themselves set up, like a whole in-game marketplace and economy. The Hermits can go and buy and sell things from these stores. It's pretty cool. So it's pretty safe to say that Hermitcraft is a unique server, but let's look at the Dream SMP now. Just like Hermitcraft, the Dream SMP is a completely vanilla server with maybe a couple helpful plugins here and there, like image maps that allows you to put images of your choice onto paintings in the game. That and a few other little plugins and data packs that just make things a little more enjoyable. But other than that, I'd say the unique thing about the Dream SMP is the fact that they have large guest cameos on the server every once in a while, like Ninja and Mr. Beast. Now it's time to announce who wins the final category for all the marbles. The score is 2-2, and whichever category wins here wins the whole thing. And the winner of the special features category and the whole comparison is Hermitcraft. Okay, let me explain. The reason Hermitcraft wins the special features category is because I think at first glance, Hermitcraft is more recognizable than the Dream SMP, especially when taking into account all the massive projects they've built. And I never even watched Hermitcraft before starting to make this video. Not gonna lie, I personally like the Dream SMP more. And to be honest, I didn't think Hermitcraft was gonna win. Just like how I didn't know I was gonna be forced to make this video, but here we are.